What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Sunday evening. Let's get into this Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. Season 9, Episode 12, Shady Now, Sunny Later. So it opens up with the Fletchers coming together, Chris, Nell, and their children, and they are, planning to celebrate their 30th wedding anniversary. They're going to do a vow renewal, which I think is so beautiful. And they're looking at different venues. And I really liked that, this one had a beautiful backyard. Chris came a little bit later, but I love that, they're incorporating the kids with, Chris being the DJ and Lance helping out. And, just one thing I could say about the Fletchers, they may be messy. Nell is a little bit loud, but they have a beautiful family. They have a beautiful family. And I loved when they were standing in the pavilion and, Chris leaned down and gave Nell like a very sweet kiss. You can tell they're still very much in love. And so to see them celebrating, 30 years is truly a blessing through all of the messiness and the foolishness and the tomfoolery. All right, moving on. Speaking of messy, she's having a really great time with her kids. They're at a trampoline place. So they are, just having that bonding experience, bouncing around and having fun. But she sits down with her two kids and she talks about how, she's divorcing their father. And, her son, Xavier, he's like, oh, all right, I thought that you already did that. When they ask when they ask their mom, um, you know, is she or how does she feel about marrying Ken? She just continued. I mean, her whole demeanor changed. You can tell that, she's like, well, eventually, not soon. I really don't think that Trish wants to get married again. I just, and it is unfortunate, right? Because I feel like Ken, he is in a place in his life where he wants to solidify things. He wants to, he's very serious about the relationship. He wants to get married. And for whatever reason, I don't know if she's still really hurt about what Marquez did in regards to his abandonment of their family in the past. She keeps comparing the two men. I feel like Marquez and Ken are complete opposites. They look opposite. They don't look alike at all. Um, Ken is someone who, in my opinion, is very stable. He's a provider, a protector. Marquez, unfortunately, is the opposite of that. And so um, I hope, I hope that Trish can, heal and find a way to move forward in her relationship because I feel like if she doesn't heal from her past, she's going to end up losing Ken. Um, and, he will be justified in walking away. But girl, listen, that's a good man, Savannah. Okay, a good man. And it is hard out here. So I really hope that she recognizes how much Ken loves her and her kids, and she sticks with them. So speaking of having a good man, we have her sitting down here with Nell. She has a nice little healthy spread, nice charcuterie board there with some champagne. And, they're talking about their relationships, and Nell is just as messy as ever. And she's asking Trish about, what happened with Martell, because to be honest, nobody's ever given us a straight answer. Melody and most people have pretty much, deduced, right? Made the inference that something happened. Listen, Trish said that they were watching a movie and, that nothing happened. The Martell was saying that he really messed up in regards to, you know, cheating on Melody and messing up his family. And Nell and everybody's like, yeah, I mean, you did mess up. And, she's like, I told him that years ago. And Martell, I feel like he's still stuck there as well. He hasn't moved on with Ariane yet for whatever reason. I feel like he probably feels like he can't trust her. She doesn't have a trustworthy character. But, you know, Trish just, she insists that they were watching movies, eating popcorn, talking about their past marriages. And so only they know what truly happens. I feel like if Martell hadn't made such a big deal about it, like when, Trish and they first, came on the scene at Sunny or Stormy's house, and he walked in and they were acting like they didn't know each other, I feel like that's the tell, you know. But this happened in 2020. I mean, it's 5 years now. I'm like, Lord, somebody just can we move on already? Whether they did or didn't, it was so long ago that it's like it's water under the bridge. Um, but yeah, hopefully, like I said, she can move on with Ken. Ken meets up with his friend in the bar. He's expressing how he's really frustrated that Trisha is dragging her feet, that she has a lot of trust issues in regards to her past, which she does. But his friend is like, well, listen, is she going to be serious? Is she solidified her divorce yet? I mean, he's asking him some really important questions. You know, he's like, does she really want to be with you? Does she really want to move on from her husband? Does she still want to be with Marquette? And Ken's like, no. I mean, they keep saying that. It's like their actions don't align with the words. Like Trisha is saying that she's completely over Marquez and, she wants to be with Ken, but yet she's, for whatever reason, dragging her feet. Um, I think that the divorce has been finalized now in present day. While this was taping, I don't think it was. But, he's like, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, dude, but, are you sure that she doesn't want to be back with her husband? And in his confessional, Ken's like, no, Trisha's told me over and over how much she is over Marquez. Um, but again, her actions aren't really aligning with that. Trisha's an engineer. She knows how to build. She knows what a good foundation is. She's also a physical trainer. So if someone were to go to her and say, my New Year's resolution is to, lose 15 pounds and tone up or whatever, but they don't do any, they don't work out, you know what I mean? They don't, eat any kind of like fruits and vegetables. They have a diet that's full of, processed foods, sugars, and carbs, and they never move, Trish will be looking at them sideways. So your actions have to align with what you say you want. And I'm hoping that, Ken can see that. I don't know, he may have to move on, but we will see. Um, so speaking of moving on, right? The kids were telling Nell that they think it would be a really good idea to visit her mother's grave site. Her mom passed, and they really want her to grieve openly and start the healing process. So they all go out to the grave site, and it's a really touching moment, because Nell's there, and she's like, "My mom said, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone," which I feel like is a really common saying. I feel like a lot of people's parents and grandparents have said that, and it's true. I mean, I'm not, negating that. It's absolutely true, but Nell was just, she was so broken up, and it was heartbreaking to see that. But I'm glad, she had her family there for support. Chris been down. He said bye to his mother-in-law as well, and said thank you for watching over us. Thank you for always being there for us. And I'm really hoping that this helps Nell move on. May she rest in peace. Miss Betty Louise Kelly Ware, that was her name. So I thought that was really sweet. So moving on, the ladies all meet together and they are planning Nell's bachelorette party. You know, she never had one when her and Chris initially got married. So almost all the ladies show up. This is one of the rare times that we see like Tisha and Destiny and Melody and, you know, Trisha's there. And so Destiny is hosting, and Mel asks Trish, you know, she's like, "Do you have a problem with me?" Oh my goodness. And Trish is like, I mean, no, but of course, you know, they go at it. And I feel like a lot of people said this episode was really boring, but I feel like this part was not necessarily boring. Um, you know, Melody came in, you know, she doesn't want to drink, she doesn't want to really eat anything. She said she just ate. I feel like she came in and she wanted the smoke. That's what she wants. She wants problems. She wants the smoke. And so, you know, she's asking Trish, and Trish is like, you know, no. She said that they don't feel like they necessarily got off to a good start. I just feel like Melody, ever since she found out that Trish went up to whether it was her house that she was still living with, you know, her ex husband, or whether it was Martell's home, because she was trying to find out the timeline. She said, I think it was like April 2020. Um, but either way, you know, you could tell that Melody is bothered, like she feels really disrespected. And I don't know if they'll be able to get past that. Um, I feel like because Martell, I'm telling you, Martell and Marquez really remind me a lot of each other. And Melody and Trish both remind me of each other in regards to they have similar personalities. They both have really strong work ethics. You know, they're both essentially single moms, um, and they both have ex-husbands that they say they can't stand. But I know Melody's moved on, but you can tell they really bothered her. Like in my opinion, like if someone were not me, I haven't been married. What was it? I think they were married. She said like 12, 13 years. But just hypothetically, I feel like if you're over an ex, like if someone was like, "Oh, you know, I met up with your ex," especially if it was years ago, I'll be like, "Okay." You know what I mean? Like, all right, that they're my ex for a reason. And it's not like they just got divorced, you know, 6 months ago or last year. This has been years. Um, but again, I feel like, you know, Melody has she I don't think she trusts Trish, and I don't think that she likes her after she found out that she went to go train, quote unquote train, her ex-husband. And so they're, you know, they're sitting there with, you could tell like the dancers are in the back, everybody looks mad uncomfortable, it's all this tension going back and forth. Um, you know, they said that they were having a joking moment, but clearly nobody's laughing. Nobody is laughing. Um, yeah, that she said, well, yeah, Melody said that she thought that her and Marquez still loved each other. She said it was a joke. Trish was like, I didn't find it funny. I didn't find the punchline funny. I feel like they're both still hung up on their exes a little bit. Um, Melody hasn't moved on either, and that's telling, right? Because again, like I said, it's been years. So but anyway, speaking of moving on, in walks Sunny, right? Destiny was trying to play, you know, peacemaker between Mel and Trish, and in walks her op, her nemesis, Sunny, right? This is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm hoping that they can put all their differences aside for Nell, you know, celebrate her in her 30 years. Um, but we will see. This was, like I said, this was the most interesting part of the episode. Um, but yeah, this is a mess. It's getting good though. It's getting good. I'm glad to see that you know the episodes are starting to pick up a little bit. So, Anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.